Want to see how I make my tater salad? Yes, I said tater salad because I'm in the South, but you may say potato salad. Okay. Potato salad and coleslaw are two of the foods that I do like a lot, but I will not eat just anybody's potato salad or just anybody's coleslaw. I don't like all potato salads and I don't like all coleslaws. So I'm a little picky on that. I've had several that does like my potato salad and wants to know what I do to it or how I make it. And it's simple, it's nothing fancy. I use I used to use a 5-pound bag of potato, but you know, they've changed it now, it's 4 pounds. So I usually just do 4 pounds. Sometimes I'll add another 2 or 3 taters out of another bag. And I usually cook 8. Now these are dark eggs but I think I used white ones. But I already have them boiled to save a little time because I figured you knew how to boil eggs. I also figured you knew how to cook potatoes. I do cut them up just small, drain them. And the key, if you don't want your potato salad to be soft like cream potatoes, the key is to have them firm, not cook them too long. But there's this fine line between cooking them too long and not cooking them long enough, and then they're hard. So it's hard for me to get it just right, but I don't like to walk off very far and leave my potatoes cooking because then they can get really mushy. So I usually take a spoon as I'm cooking. When I stir them, I'll cut a potato up against the thing here with just a spoon, not a knife. And if it'll cut through fairly easy, I know it's done. And like I said, I don't like them to be mushy. These are probably gonna be a little bit softer than I would prefer. The only ingredients I put other than salt and pepper is mayonnaise, and mustard. And I use the sweet salad cubes. And I don't measure it, but what I do is I start with the mayonnaise, and I get it about like what I think's about the right consistency. I don't want it just soupy with mayonnaise. I don't want it dry, because if I do get it a little too soupy, I add my pickles next, because if I get it a little too soupy, I've still got eggs coming that's going to take up some of that. So for this amount, I don't know how much I'm going to need. That's why I brought the other jar in here. But I'm going to put me some and then start kind of stirring it to see. Can you see it over here? Maybe you can see. I'm going to just kind of lightly stir it because I don't want to stir it to pieces and make it like I said, if I do have my potatoes a little soft, I don't want to stir it so hard that I make it like a cream potatoes. I believe I'll put a little more. I don't think I'm going to need the other jar. Ooh, I'm not sure yet. And if you're a messy cooker like me, you definitely need an apron. Okay, so you see I'm trying to get it coated good with mayonnaise. And actually the first thing I normally do when I take them off like this is to add some salt. Now, you may like less salt. I try not to get it too salty because you can always add. Let me get some pepper. I think there's some right here. Oops, okay. I also don't like to put a lot of pepper simply because if children a lot of times don't like things as hot as adults, and so I try to, I believe I'm going to take this cap off though and do it this way. Okay. You can always add salt or pepper at the table, so I try to get just a reasonable amount. Some people don't eat a lot of salt, and you want it where anybody can eat it, your company or children or whoever, or at least I do. All right, so as you see, I'm stirring it now with the salt and with the mayonnaise. And it's about right on the consistency. It might could use a little bit more mayonnaise. And again, I believe this jar is going to be about right. So I may just go ahead and empty what's in this jar, and I may not need the other one at all. Now, I'm going to add my pickles next, so if it gets too soupy, I used to put a lot of the juice, but I don't put that much of it now because a lot of times I wind up with it too.
Show them the time you have.
I told them it was it don't matter the brand. These happen to be Mount Olive, but I just buy sweet salad cubes. And I don't know, I just put some. Used to, I'd put the whole jar when I was doing the 5 pounds, but sometimes I don't put quite the whole jar, and I don't mind if a little of the juice gets in it. Makes it good. I just don't like to have it be soupy. So, and like I said, I try to kind of, these are really going to be a little more mushier than I would prefer, that's for sure. And I believe it's going to need a little more of this. Now, some people like mustard potato salad. I do not, but I do like a little mustard, but I don't put a lot because I just squirt some, but I don't make it real mustardy. I may have even gotten too much just now, but I'm thinking time I stir the whole, that may be more than I've been putting actually. I think it's going to be way too much. This is a kind of a, it's going to be more mustardy than I usually do it. I didn't realize I had squirted so much, but I do squirt a little bit of mustard, maybe a tablespoon. I'm not really sure because I don't measure. And this one's looking much mushier, because anytime you do a video or do something live, you know, things won't turn out like the way you normally have them turning out. So then I try to cut my eggs up fairly small and put them in it, and that'll take up some of that being not as firm and not as, you know, being a little too soupy maybe. Sometimes I have put 6 eggs, but I tend to put 8 in this amount. I like a lot of eggs, and it makes the potato salad larger, and to me the eggs are good in it. Now, you can go with your preference and put less if you need to, or if you just want to, whatever. So, and this is gonna be, when I get through here, this is gonna be all there is to it. A lot of times I like to put it in a pretty clear bowl. I think it looks pretty. I also, if I don't put it in a clear bowl, I like to use the one that's pretty, you know, just a pretty colorful bowl, which I will do tonight. And you can just serve it on the table within the boiler, of course, if you're not trying to be fancy and it's just your family, or if you just got old home country folks eating with you and you don't mind putting your boiler on the table, that's fine too. I do tend to like to put my potato salad in a bowl when I get through. And so I'm going to show you right quick and we'll be through. Because I'm assuming you know how to cut up potatoes and boil them, and I'm assuming you know how to boil eggs. So I went ahead and did that part ahead of time to make this quicker. But this does make a really good, now, some people do like onions in their potato salad, and my mother used to make them sometimes with onions and sometimes not. But I decided over the years ago when I started making it, I did not put onions, simply because, same thing I said about salt and pepper. You could even have some onions chopped up on the side and people put them in their salad, but everybody don't want onions. So I like to, as much as possible, make it where most people will eat it, and then let other things just be added. So this is what it looks like when I get through. And it don't look as mustardy now, maybe a little bit more than I usually do, but once you get everything in it, the eggs, like I said, I think I did probably put a little bit more. Let me see if I can get me a spoon. Because I want to taste it, but I don't want to put it back in the boiler, so I'm going to get me a spoon. Very good. I almost want just a dab of mayonnaise, but I don't want much more, but just a little more. So where's the spoon? Right here. So I do want to put me just about that much more, and that's it on the mayonnaise. It didn't have to have this. It would be on your own taste of whether or not you wanted that extra spoon of it, but it seemed like it was just a little bit drier than I wanted, and I love mayonnaise anyway. Not by itself, but my son Kelton does not like mayonnaise, period, so he won't even eat potato salad. Now, let's get us a pretty bowl here, and let's put it in it. And we're ready if we needed to take it to some kind of get together, but let's see, I think this one would be a good choice, or this one down here might be a better choice. Would you think this one will hold it?
Probably.
If this one will hold it, this will be a good choice. If not, I've got that bigger one down there. With this fluted out one might be better.
Oh, and I'm saying that I don't like mayonnaise, it's not a strong enough word.
Okay. I'm gonna try this bowl. If it don't work, that's okay, because we're gonna be eating some tonight anyway. I'm going to actually fix some chicken strips to go with it. Please. Okay. Okay, now here we go. And if you want to put the lid, this might be all I would need to put. So here we go. A pretty dish of potato salad. And I have this much left in the water, but we will be eating it tonight. I usually use a little bit bigger bowl. And so if I take the lid off, I could actually finish putting it on here. All right, so there we go. Hope you enjoyed and tried making you one and see how you like it. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.